For now, I will start up with the interview, like the usual same thing which we used to do in the interviews thing. First of all, you will give me your introduction, proceeding ahead with the technical questions and all. After that, I will give you the feedback, first of all, on each and every point, like the way you are speaking up your everything, technical skills and well. And then we will discuss about rest of the things, some advanced question also after that. Okay.
Got it.
So, okay, Rohan, go ahead with your introduction. Let me know about your expertise and skills.
Got it. Hello, my name is Rohan KM. I completed my engineering from Jyoti Institute of Technology in Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. I had interned for NTTF as a business data analyst, where I created a student analysis portal and a dashboard where marks of the students were analyzed and predicted the future marks of the students as well, so extra care could be taken. I also interned as a web development intern in HAL, where I created an employee task management portal for ease of managing the task among the HAL employees. I've also published 3 papers, and I've also submitted for a patent in Gen
Mhm.
AI. My hobbies include playing badminton and cricket. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. You have gone through like multiple things. Good name also is there in your resume. HAL is Hindustan or Aeronautic, right?
Correct. Correct.
That's a good one. So for this role which you are like looking up, can you just describe how many number of rows of data can you store in an Excel file?
Uh, Rows of data.
Mhm.
I think we could store up to more than 1,000.
In one single worksheet?
Correct. Don't know the exact numbers. Maybe like 1,000, about 1,000, I
Okay,
feel.
no problem. Just give me a range about it. That's totally fine. No problem.
I think
Okay, so
just a sec. Let me think about it. Maybe like 1,000 to 2,000. That's what I feel.
okay. Can you differentiate like between what is workbook and what is worksheet?
Workbook would be a collection of worksheets. A worksheet is
Mhm.
where we have the cell row, where cell, which is a combination of rows and columns, where the actual action and the analytical part takes place. Multiple
Okay.
sheets combined together would contribute a workbook.
Okay. So how many number of worksheet can be integrate inside one single work?
I don't have an idea about it. I have used up to like 3 to 5, so 3, I guess. Yeah.
No problem. That's totally fine. That's okay. Can you just define right now? You just spoke about a word that is cell inside
Mhm.
that worksheet, right? So can you define how
Correct.
many types of cells we have inside Excel?
I suppose just one type of cell, just the empty
Okay.
cell and the cell which has values inside it.
Okay, so can you describe a difference between relative and absolute cell? There are two things present inside the cell,
Correct.
relative and absolute.
So, relative cell would be when I use an equation, the same equation would be reflected in all the cells below it. So, in an absolute cell, we use a dollar symbol which says that
Hmm.
the formula or the equation is fixed for that cell, so that it doesn't relatively change over time or over the course of action or of whatever we do.
Okay. Okay, so basically we can go ahead with a long range in the relative function and we can relate to previous one also. So it is a broad data we can look ahead with that, right? Okay, so have you
Related.
used if function in Excel?
Yes, I have used the function.
Okay, so can you just elaborate a bit of it, how to be use it, in which scenario you would use it, like an example short thing.
So if function is a very common function, I feel, and in the if function we first write the if, the condition, and what happens if it is true and what happens if it is false. So I can just give an example that if an employee has more than 50,000, it should say
Hmm.
promoted. and if or else less than 50,000, it should say same salary. So if I'll just tell the syntax, if of um, salary greater than 50,000, in single quotes yes, or promoted, and in next to it just comma and the same salary, we can do that.
Okay, Boolean and comparison basically we can do.
Correct.
Okay, so can you define what is lookup?
Lookup is used to search for a exact value or a value nearest to it,
Mhm.
in a row, column, or in a table. We can choose any of that.
Okay. How many types of lookup do we have? Do you have any
We
idea?
have three types of lookups: H lookup,
Okay.
V lookup, and X lookup.
Okay. Can you describe me the difference between lookup and VLOOKUP?
In VLOOKUP, it just looks for the vertical sections, that would be the rows. So within the
Mm-hmm.
rows, it calculates for the values required. So one rule in the VLOOKUP is that we need to the what do you say, the value we are looking should be in the first row of the table or the data that we have been provided. In lookup, it looks for the whole table and it can search and give the value. That would
Okay.
be the major difference, I feel.
Okay. Power pivot. What
Power
exactly is
Pivot
power pivot?
Table is it would be an analytical tool used for the uh, pivot tables where we have
Mhm.
rows, columns, values, and filters. So we can use this to generate interactive dashboards or even tables for better understanding and better visualization. Excuse me.
Which type of formula do we use in power pivot?
I don't have an idea about it.
Okay, no,
Just a drag and drop that I know.
no problem. That's fine. In Excels, we have something called as macros.
Mhm.
Have you heard about that? Macros.
I don't have an idea about it. I have been
Okay.
working on Power BI and Excel. I just know the part basics of it.
Okay. All right. So let's suppose I'm connecting one question with Power BI also. Right now, let's
Mhm,
suppose I have two extension files. One is
mhm,
.xlsx and one is
mhm,
.csv. So in
mhm.
which of the extensions you can store large number of files? .xlsx or .csv?
I think we can store in .csv large amount of files.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay, that's correct. So it is a comma separated file which you integrate
Correct.
the data in Power BI. Let's suppose you have integrated that. So there we
Mhm,
have something called as transforming the data, right? We first of
correct.
all do the transformation of data. We split up the data,
Mhm,
data cleaning part and all. We do that, and
correct.
then we create some visualizations. So do we have some similar tool present in Power BI and in Excel?
In Power BI, we have this Power Query editor where we
Oh,
can analyze and clean the data. We can normalize the all the values in Power Query editor. In Excel, I think we can do it in the Excel sheet as well, as it is. We can do it in the Excel sheet and we can go to pivot tables for more visualization. Whereas Power BI has a separate dashboard for doing all the visualization part.
okay, yes, that's excellent. So in both the places we have actually Power Query Editor, which is using to consolidate your more number of files or do a basic of data transformations if that is required. Okay, let's say I have some sensitive data. Sensitive data means I have one Excel workbook in which
Hmm.
I have the sales data coming from different regions. Australia one sheet, India one sheet. Similarly, different countries have different sheets. So the situation is I don't want the Australian people to see the Indian sales data and the
Okay.
same with them. How can we protect that worksheet in Excel?
Excel. Um, can we just divide the two tables? Like we can
Yeah,
create separate files.
you can separating the file means Excel workbook, you don't have to separate. In a same
Okay.
workbook, we have multiple sheets.
Got it.
Each country has separate sheet. So
Mhm.
can we restrict it? Up, we can apply any protection to that. How can we apply any security feature on Excel worksheet?
I don't think so. I have an idea, but if I want to take a guess, I think we can protect it with a password so that we can access the files only when we enter this password.
Yes, that's
I
correct.
haven't used this feature, but
No
I'm
problem.
just guessing that.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. No problem. You have at least guessed up the right thing. We can do it in that manner itself. If we have to like switch up between worksheets, as you said, like let's suppose you have worked with four different sheets itself. So you have to switch up from one worksheet to another.
Mhm.
What is the shortcut that you will be using for that specific?
Uh, Shift tab. I just used the bottom left part of the sheets to change. I haven't used
Oh,
it.
okay, no problem. So that will be control up and down keys we use actually to switch the worksheets between them. Okay, have you heard about the wildcards in Excel?
No, I haven't. I have no idea about it. Wild
Okay,
card, is it?
what's the basic syntax of getting a data viewed in SQL? Let's suppose you have like mentioned in the resume also, you have used MySQL,
Mhm.
SQLite tree
Correct.
also. So what's the basics thing? I just suppose I want to get all the data I want to view from the sales. So what will you use?
Select star from the table name.
Yeah, correct. So that star is called as asterisk and that is your wildcard.
Correct.
Okay, so
Correct.
the same is there in Excel also. That is one of the
Mhm.
wildcard that represents one or more characters inside that.
Got it.
Okay, we have discussed about one macro, right? Previously.
Mhm. Correct.
What are the two languages that can be used in macros? So,
Uh, English. I have no idea about it.
okay, so can you just tell me the use case of the macro? Why do we use it?
I don't know what macro means. Maybe I might have used it, but the word isn't striking.
Okay, macro is used for dealing large databases and it is used to support the automation process in Excel also
Okay.
because Excel is the most powerful business analytics tool, but it is also one of the most complex business analytics. It's not just a easy thing to work with Excel, so that's fine. I'm trying to send you some data. Can you see there is some file present?
No, I haven't received.
Okay, wait, I'm resending it again. Just check the chat box again.
Yeah, got it. Pivot table practice.
Just download that and share your screen.
Got it. Host that disabled attendee screen sharing.
Just a second.
That's the pop-up I get.
Okay, so you have got it now. Yeah, so there you have two data present. One is the store data, and second is your sales data. So first of all, go back to your store data.
This one.
Store data. Then can you see at the bottom there are two
Oh, okay.
worksheets?
Got it.
Yes.
Yes, got it.
So on basis of town,
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what is the sales amount.
On the basis of count.
Town. Can you see there is a column name is town? Or let's say take it as country also. That's totally fine. Take it
Correct.
on country basis.
Based on the country.
Hmm. What is the total
No
sales?
sales. Got it.
How will you
Ba-
get that in?
Just check for the data first. Okay, this is a huge data. Is this the answer?
Now, this is actually, I'm saying on basis of country wise. I'm not asking like the total sales that I can get directly when I will select the
Oh,
entire sales, then also I will get that.
okay, country-wise sales.
Yes,
Got it.
country wise sales. Just tell me the approach, like how will you proceed with it?
Uh, I will the label. I'll create a separate table with country and sales,
Hmm.
and just use the pivot table. I guess, but
Okay, so use it.
just a sec.
Okay, I will guide you for this question. No problem.
Okay.
Delete the total and K and L column, whatever you have created over there. Now go to pivot table.
Hmm.
First of all, select the date column. Select the date column, cell A1. Okay, now
Okay.
go to pivot table from table or range. Now just click on OK. It is see, you can see that it is selecting entire data, right? So out of the
Correct.
entire data, we are just getting a new table. And then from here, we will choose the country and the sales amount. First of all, choose the country. There you can see at the top. No, no, no. At the top, first of all, choose the country.
Okay.
Just click on that checkbox. You don't need to drag anywhere. Yes, this is your country, UK itself,
Hmm.
sales. So it was just one country data. So
Correct.
fortunately, your answer was right, but approach was not right, right?
Correct.
If we need to have store-wise data, that will be different.
Hmm.
Town-wise data, it will be different. If can you go scroll up? Yeah, select the town also. So this is how I was expecting it to be grouped by on
Hmm.
basis of town data. That okay, this town has got this much of sales amount from this store. We have got this. This is the basic analysis which is required in out of working with the data. Okay,
Got it.
so no problem. That's fine. You can stop sharing your screen. Now I will just move away with Excel and come to some basic SQL questions as well. Like let's see what expertise you hold in SQL. So do you have idea like how many types of SQL commands are there?
The commands create, restore, and update and delete.
Okay. Um, have you heard about join?
Yes, I have heard about join.
Okay, so can you explain what is inner join?
Um, Shall I take an example to explain it?
Yeah.
If there are two tables and two of the columns are similar, so we
Mm-hmm.
can join, and the
Mm-hmm.
similar the table is created with a separate with the intersection of the both of the tables. This is the inner
Okay.
join.
Okay. So let's suppose I have written a query like select all from table A, then join. Rather than putting inner join, I have put in just join.
Hmm.
Table 2, then the condition on column 1 dot table 1 is equal to column 1 dot table 2. Okay. So will this query run if I have mentioned just join over there? And if it will run, which type of join will it take?
I think it will run. I think it will uh, use the equi join instead of inner join.
Okay. Okay, Rohan, I think these are the basic questions that we can go ahead. You can just, I will share you the questions also. Go ahead with it, practice more. Now I will come up on the feedback part. Each and everything I have been like my writing out till now, and I will
Okay,
share you this also. Don't try to write it in notebook. I will just share that
got it.
entire thing with you. Okay. Your introduction was good. Trust me,
Hmm.
the level of resume which you have is
Hmm.
very good. You have a good CGPA, you are coming from good college. The expertise which you hold is truly excellent. Power BI, SQL, AI you are working with, ML libraries you have worked with, but you are not able to put up that properly.
Correct.
First thing, you do not have a proper introduction written out. Like
Hmm.
if you are opting for a role of data analyst, what are the things required? Data cleaning, data
Hmm.
transformation, data visualizations, and you are doing all these things. You have idea
Hmm.
working on Python also. You have working idea since you are working with AI, so definitely you have that data numpys, data frames, everything, PySpark you
Correct.
have worked with. You have idea of SQLs, basic at least you have, Excel knowledge you have worked with Power BI, Power Query you are able to define. So you have a good idea, but you are not able to portray that properly into the introduction. So I would
Correct.
suggest, first of all, write that introduction properly
Hmm.
and then share it with me also. I will also verify from my end. Whatever possible thing, I will do it for you. Prepare a good introduction. Mention good
Got it.
words. Words are not mentioned properly. Okay. Second thing, use the full forms while you are describing yourself, your introduction, like you have mentioned HAL. Now, I am a person who is having an idea about what is HAL. I directly asked you that. But maybe that person sitting in front will understand that, okay, it is this some kind of startup or something, HAL he's just seeing. Hindustan Aeronautics Labs are one of the largest company in the defense sector, not in just India. It has the highest valuation and it is comparing right now with US also. So
Got it.
you have a very big name and you are putting it in a very small words.
Got it.
Now coming to your Excel interview, which is right now scheduled. You do not have an idea of figures that is present in Excel. That clearly says you have a lack of experience working in Excel. We can store total 10 lakh 56,248 rows in Excel.
Got it.
1 to 2,000 of data means you have just worked with sample data. Okay. Then you have a good point. You are writing questions. Okay. You were writing something in between.
Hmm.
Every time like some new question was coming up, you were writing out at that moment. That's good. That shows a good point. That is totally fine. And you are doing it good. Okay. Then less work you have done. I have mentioned one point as less work. So you have less work experience, but you have to portray that properly. You cannot say that I have a less work experience. I'm sitting up in the interview. I have sent everything on the chat, my entire feedback thing,
Hmm.
and one by one I'm explaining the point.
Okay.
Lookup and VLOOKUP, you have described it very well in theoretical
Hmm.
manners. But
Mm-hmm.
trust me, you have not seen that in a good way from yesterday also. You have not spent
Mm-hmm.
good time on that. There are total
Mm-hmm.
6 ways of lookup.
Oh, just saw four of them.
Okay, so yeah, somewhere you will see four, somewhere you will see five. Always use ChatGPT for creating questions
Got it.
because that is creating a consolidated question report, and from there you will get it. Power Query, you have a very good idea. That's totally fine. Macros, you don't have an idea. So if you do not
Mm-hmm.
have an idea, some questions you can skip also. Macros is one of the part which is used for supporting automations. Automation, not just in small words, I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Excel can handle 10 crore of row count of data also. If you
Okay.
will open 10 lakh of Excel file, Excel workbook file, it will hang. Your system will not on, and you will everything will be not responding. But if you are using macros along with that, you can deal with nearly 5 to 10 crore of data also.
Got
Easy.
it.
Then third point, when I shared you some data, that data when I
Mm-hmm.
shared you that file, you was trying to look out the data, scrolling down what is the things present in this. This was just a small data. I can send you
Mm-hmm.
sales data of 4.5 GB that is of 7 crore of row count. How will
Correct.
you search that in Excel? You cannot
Correct.
scroll down. Use the filters to check the data always.
Correct.
The moment you will filter
Uh,
it, you will click on drop down, you will see how many type of data it is.
Correct. I was trying to do that but couldn't find. So,
I know. That was saying lack of experience working on the tool.
correct.
Then
Yeah.
pivot table approach was a very straightforward and the easiest thing because this is the thing you will be doing in this job role that you are applying. Okay.
Correct.
Then coming to data analyst, whenever you are trying to approach any organization that is for the role of any data domain, I'm not saying just to data analysis, you have the potential to work with data scientist as a data
Mm-hmm.
scientist. Trust me, you have that potential,
Mm-hmm.
but you are restricting it yourself from multiple points.
Mm-hmm.
SQL is the basic language that everyone will ask in the entire data domain.
Got
Even
it.
if I have worked with you have mentioned in the resume you have worked with AWS. Definitely you are working with any AI tool, so you have worked with a cloud interface also. But the thing is, you have not portrayed it in a well manner.
Got it.
And SQL is very
Uh,
mandatory.
I didn't want to talk about AWS cause I have taken a break from what I've been doing, so don't have
That's
much.
totally fine. I'm not commenting on any specific thing. I'm just talking about your potential. It's more
Mm-hmm.
than what you are right now putting up.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Now I will just stop up